While the mercenaries were in a state of panic, the leader still tried to remain calm to give orders. He knew that if things continued like this, the whole team would definitely be handled by Chen Yuan. He growled into the walkie-talkie. Capture the hostage. If we don't capture the hostage, we will all die. The hostage is our only hope for survival. Hearing the order, the remaining soldiers immediately turned their vehicles, shifting their target from Chen Yuan to Jun Hosik. It didn't take long for the soldiers to quickly subdue her. Her car was blown up, forcing her to jump out in a state of great confusion. Before she could do anything, Jun Hosik was dragged before them, a gun pressed to her head. Chen Yuan, move again, and I'll kill the hostage. At that moment, Jun Hosik's heart was racing, not of fear of death, but because of a vague anxiety about what would happen to Chen Yuan. Even though she knew he wouldn't surrender for her sake, in this moment, with the cold gun pressed to her head, all reason and feelings within her mixed in a gaze full of hope. Despite that, she still tried to appear strong, not shedding a single tear, fearing that her weakness would make Chen Yuan think she was trying to exploit his pity. But Chen Yuan seemed no longer concerned about Jun Hosik's presence. Using a hostage as bait? Fine, but that won't work on me when the hostage is Jun Hosik. He coldly continued firing as if he were playing a game. Just as one magazine ran out, 3 mercenaries were sent on vacation to the other side. Everything happened so quickly that the remaining mercenaries didn't even have time to understand why. Despite using the hostage as a threat, they were still being killed off like this. Only 3 mercenaries were left, pale as though they had seen a ghost. They frantically grabbed Jun Hosik as a live shield and jumped into the vehicle, pressing the gas to escape. Chen Yuan didn't bother to chase after them. His only target was Wang Meng. Is Jun Hosik captured? Whatever, her life or death has nothing to do with me. He looked down at the bullet wound on his leg, his face filled with annoyance. With a hostage like this, she'll soon get me killed. Damn, these people are really dangerous. At that moment, Wang Meng's sobbing voice echoed from the SUV. Brother Chen Yuan, brother? Ah. She finally emerged from the car, her eyes brimming with tears and her face pale with fear. Then she rushed toward Chen Yuan, diving straight into his chest. Her tears and runny nose made his shirt completely wet. Chen Yuan gently patted her head to comfort her. It's okay, it's all right. His words were firm, but Wang Meng couldn't find peace in her heart. She hugged him tighter, as if to confirm that he was truly alive, that everything was in the past. Suddenly, she noticed the blood on Chen Yuan's leg and shouted with concern. Brother, you're hurt. Chen Yuan replied calmly. It's just a small wound, not worth worrying about. But she wouldn't listen, her red-rimmed eyes staring intently at the injury, filled with regret and self-blame. Is a bullet wound small? Look at you, you're bruised all over. It's all my fault. If it weren't for saving me, you wouldn't be suffering like this. Chen Yuan remained mostly unconcerned. He bent down and used his hand to pull the bullet out of his calf, sweat pouring down like rain. The bullet was lodged to the muscle, fortunately not going deep, having been stopped after half an inch. Even so, Chen Yuan grimaced and muttered a curse. Damn, these mercenaries are really dangerous. I almost got shot to pieces. After finishing the treatment, Chen Yuan looked up at Wang Meng and smiled happily. See, it's just a small injury. Don't worry too much. But for Wang Meng, this was not normal at all. In her mind, everything rewound like a movie, bringing up indescribable emotions. The image of Chen Yuan flying the helicopter, disregarding the bazooka blasts and the heavy rain of bullets, still rushing in to save me. He could not retreat, did not think of escaping. Everything he did was just to protect me. This is not just a simple sacrifice. This is affection, a bond that transcends the boundary of life and death. Even blood brothers may not do what he did. That mood made Wang Meng's heart ache even more, and she felt increasingly regretful. Looking back at herself, she couldn't help but feel useless. Chen Yuan had faced so many dangers, even close to death, just to get me out of the clutches of those vicious enemies. And what about me? I only make him worry all day. I can't do anything but cry. Thinking of this, her tears welled up, but she held them back. He has sacrificed too much. From now on, I will definitely not let him protect me like this anymore. I will be stronger. I will no longer be a burden to him. That thought kept swirling in her mind, making Wang Meng's feelings for Chen Yuan more complicated. She felt both affection and love, along with a burning sensation that was hard to articulate. Her heart raced, her chest ached, yet felt strangely warm. Suddenly, a notification sounded in Chen Yuan's head. Wang Meng favorite level +1. Wang Meng's favorite level is +1. Current favorite level, 99 points. Reward, 20 enhancement points. Hearing this, Chen Yuan widened his eyes and wanted to strangle the system. Shit, shut up this stupid system. I'm doing this for Brotherhood, not some love story, got it? The system coldly ignored his protest and continued to update. Present, enhance points, +20. At this moment, Wang Mang Meng quickly left Chen Yuan's embrace. She suddenly remembered and asked, "Wait, where's Hosik?" The unexpected question made the atmosphere a bit strange. Chen Yuan calmly replied, "She got taken away." Seeing Chen Yuan's uncomfortable expression, Wang Mang Meng felt it was odd. But instead of asking more, she chose to stay silent, not wanting to make Chen Yuan more awkward. He must be really sad. 3 years of his feelings for Hosik is not a small matter, but bringing it up is like pouring salt into his wounds. Well, let him handle it himself. Meanwhile, Chen Yuan stood watching the mercenaries flee, filled with questions. Are these thieves stupid? Why didn't they leave Wang Mang Mang behind and take Jun Hosik? Who is more important? It's obvious, yet they can't tell the difference. Never mind, this isn't important right now. Let's get out of here first. But remember, I will settle this debt sooner or later. In the land filled with wrecked cars and the mess reflecting his post-breakup mood, Chen Yuan finally found an off-road vehicle that still worked. He got in, started the engine, and drove straight to Las Vegas. In another corner, the 3 surviving mercenaries sighed in relief as if they had just returned from the dead. They almost cried out of joy, but also from fear. My God, this is too terrifying. Over 30 people, well-armed, heavy weaponry ready for a feast, and yet one person nearly wiped out our entire team. One man gasped. I swear he must be injured. I saw his thigh bleeding earlier. Another nodded. That's right, I wasn't mistaken. So he really is hurt? If we had just stayed a few minutes longer, we might have won. The leader angrily shouted, "Shut up! Are you stupid?" His speed was like the wind, and he hit every shot. Staying would have meant a one-way ticket to hell. Finally, the mercenaries comforted each other that at least they still had the hostage. They immediately called headquarters to report the situation. As for Jun Hosik, although tied up, her mind was drifting on another planet. Hearing the mercenaries speaking in English, thanks to her good fortune of having a level 4 English certificate, she vaguely understood one important thing. Chen Yuan was injured. It turned out that he didn't leave me. He couldn't come in time because he was hurt. Just that one sentence made thousands of thoughts race through Jun Hosik's mind. From the moment we met until now, I've discovered a truth. Chen Yuan doesn't need promises or romantic gestures. His actions alone are enough to warm my heart. Chen Yuan, I love you. No matter whether he forgives me or not, no matter how many other girls are around him, I won't blame him because I don't deserve it. But that's not all. A sudden, incredible determination sparked within Jun Hosik. She vowed, if I had to choose again, I would still love Chen Yuan. I would even die for him, and that would be okay. This madness, regardless of wanting a response, made the system continuously ring out. Ding. Subject Jun Hosik has been conquered by the mighty, unparalleled strength of the master. In light of her selfless striving actions, she is deeply moved and has evolved this subject to a higher level. What is a high-level object? It is a person who can forgive all the bad traits of their owner, even when the owner makes serious mistakes. There are no principles, no limits. They will always find a reason to defend. The owner just needs to say one word. Even if it's to pick 2 stars from the sky, they are ready to do anything. Reward. Enhance bonus points by 50. Meanwhile, Chen Yuan was driving when he suddenly heard the familiar sound in the system. Chen Yuan was startled, his eyes wide open, shouting, "Holy shit, what the hell is this? Oh my God, can a person really fall in love to this extent? I thought 100 points was the maximum, but it turns out there's level up. I realized that being a simp is an endless, borderless field just like the universe out there. This is exhausting. Hosik, you really are relentless." After 6 hours of tension, Chen Yuan finally arrived in Las Vegas. He was secretly pleased and hurriedly called Xiao Lai to instruct him. "Xiao Lai, prepare a hotel room for me to catch up on sleep." Hearing Chen Yuan's call, Xiao Lai immediately arranged it. But she didn't stop at booking a regular room. She chose a presidential suite, the most luxurious and high-end room the hotel had to offer. The problem was that a mix of complex emotions arose within Xiao Lai. She had to accept the order, but her mind began to concoct a series of awkward scenarios. My boss asked me to prepare the room. Could it be that he wants to do something illicit with me? Oh my goodness, I'm so embarrassed. Then she chastised herself. I can't refuse. If I decline and my boss gets angry, all my current privileges will vanish. The more she thought, the more tense Xiao Lai became. She remembered her current boyfriend, Tao. Although he wasn't poor, driving a Porsche and coming from a family worth $10 billion, comparing him to Chen Yuan was like comparing a domestic cat to a wild lion. Actually, a Tao is good, but if I compare, there's still a long way to go. Should I seize this opportunity to change my life? Meanwhile, Chen Yuan was excitedly getting ready to go to the hotel to catch up on sleep after 2 sleepless days and nights. Xiao Lai had completed everything. Yet, her mood was a chaotic mix of excitement, anxiety, and curiosity. I wonder if my boss intends to do anything beyond his duties. However, one thing was certain. Chen Yuan had no idea about her tangled thoughts. For him, all that was needed right now was a good night's sleep in the freshly arranged presidential suite. After booking the presidential suite, Xiao Lai began preparing for the final step of her plan. First, she took a thorough shower, using the most fragrant body wash to ensure that every step she took lingered with an enticing scent. Next, Xiao Lai chose the most alluring and sexy lace nightwear, making sure that every glance from her boss would linger for a few extra seconds. After completing all of her preparations, Xiao Lai lay on the bed, her spirit a mix of excitement and determination, like a warrior ready for battle. She confidently thought, "Tonight, as long as I please the boss, my investments will surely pay off immensely. This is a chance to change my life. I cannot let it slip away." With sharp eyes and a resolute will, Xiao Lai lay waiting for Chen Yuan, her heart filled with hope for a bright future. At 9:30 p.m., Chen Yuan had just gotten out of the car, holding the room key from the front desk, looking completely exhausted. Next to him was Wang Meng, constantly chattering, both worried and blaming herself. "Does your wound hurt? Let me help you. Don't push yourself. If I had known earlier, I should have gotten my driver's license long ago. If I knew how to drive, you wouldn't have had to be behind the wheel for 6 hours in such a condition." Chen Yuan just waved his hand, his tone calm. "It's fine. It's just a small wound, and it's almost healed now." As they reached the door of the presidential suite, Wang Meng quickly swiped the key card to open the door. As soon as the door swung open, Xiao Lai had everything prepared and immediately appeared, flashing the charming smile she had practiced all evening. "Boss." Glancing at Xiao Li's cosplay outfit with an irresistible and flawless transformation, Wang Meng screamed as if she had discovered an alien. I'm sorry. We got the wrong room." Before Xiao Li could fully portray her charming demeanor, her gaze froze upon seeing the person who entered with Chen Yuan, a girl with disheveled hair and dirty clothes, looking as if she had just been swept in from some sandstorm. Nonetheless, the girl's appearance still exuded an indescribable elegance and purity. Xiao Li's mouth fell open, unable to hide her embarrassment as she hadn't prepared for this situation. Her face turned scarlet and her entire body felt hot. "Boss, I. Immediately, Xiao Li's mind began to whirl with chaotic thoughts. "Boss, why did he bring this girl? Has his taste changed? All the plans, all the effort put in now gone to waste because of her unexpected appearance." While Xiao Lai was still unsure how to explain, Chen Yuan looked her up and down with a strange expression. "Xiao Lai, why are you in his room and dressed like that?" But before Xiao Li could say anything, Chen Yuan waved his hand. "All right, you can go outside. I'm tired today and want to rest." Upon hearing this, Xiao Lai felt even more flustered, her limbs in disarray. She embarrassingly dashed out, not forgetting to shout, "Boss, I'm sorry." After Xiao Lai left, Chen Yuan didn't pay much attention to her feelings. He just shook his head softly and wondered, wasn't she already in a relationship? Last time when getting off the plane, he heard her on the phone, her voice as sweet as sugar, showing such affection. Why is she acting like this now? Could it be that Xiao Lai is so deeply in character that she can't break free? Thinking of this, Chen Yuan shook his head and sighed. For him, all of this was not worth worrying about, especially when his body was exhausted and in need of a long sleep. However, not worrying didn't mean others felt the same. Wang Meng couldn't help but ask with curiosity, "Brother, is that Xiao Lai, the flight attendant on the plane the other day? I saw you two seem very close last time. Could it be that there's something going on between you?" Hearing this, Chen Yuan sighed, waved his hand dismissively, and replied emotionlessly, "I have nothing with her. She already has a boyfriend. Yesterday at the casino, I just asked her to pretend to be my girlfriend for a bit to enhance my image. Who would have thought she got so into it that she still hasn't come out of it?" Meng nodded upon hearing this. "Oh, so that's how it is." But in her mind, she still couldn't help but wonder, if there was nothing going on, then why was it so complicated? Despite that, Wang Meng didn't ask further, as the tiring journey had drained her energy. The next morning, Las Vegas gradually returned to its former splendor after a tumultuous night. However, beneath that surface, the entire city had experienced a significant upheaval. A series of casinos changed ownership overnight. The name god of gambling Huang Batian became the center of attention. It all started with a man of Huaxia descent who began with just $1,000 in capital, unexpectedly winning continuously at the casino, accumulating a staggering $30 billion. This news quickly spread globally, causing an explosion of unbelievable reactions from netizens. By midday, the legend of god of gambling, Huang Batian, was growing increasingly widespread. Everywhere added their own embellishments, transforming it into various versions. In America, it was said that Huang Baitian learned to play cards from a young age, regarded as a genius from the countryside. In Huaxia, Huang Baitian was said to be a disciple of a reclusive master who came down from the mountains. In South Korea, they took it a step further, immediately declaring Huang Baitian to be Korean. Thus, netizens erupted into a war of words. Since when did the god of gambling of Huaxia change nationality so quickly? Those young South Koreans really claim everything, even the god of gambling. Just as the name Huang Baitian became well-known, Chen Yuan and Wang Meng, like many ordinary people, quietly returned to their hometown with a standard ticket. In fact, Chen Yuan had carefully planned to leave the US without attracting attention. He did not use his private jet, but instructed Mailer to handle it. Within a few hours, Mailer had quickly prepared 2 sets of fake passports. Meng, your school is about to start a new semester. Don't think just getting into university is enough. You still need to study properly. Meng lowered her head, her voice tiny. Brother, I know. Then she exclaimed as if it were only natural. Brother, I won't run around anymore, and I won't cause you any trouble again. However, in reality, Wang Meng wanted to ask something different. She hesitated, considered not saying it, but her heart was still heavy. The Darknet had set up a whole team of mercenaries and assassins waiting for her brother. Who would have thought her brother would slip by so smoothly? And what about Jun Hosik? She was still in the hands of the kidnappers. Last time they used a bazooka. This time they might even fire a ballistic missile. More than 30 mercenaries couldn't do anything to Chen Yuan. Would they really call in a few hundred people to encircle him? The more she thought about it, the more Wang Meng felt this situation was too dangerous. The situation in the Darknet. This time, the Darknet is preparing for a lineup that is clearly only heaven can help. They have mobilized an army of over 200 mercenaries, equipped with everything from guns and tanks to heavy fighter jets. To make matters worse, they are also bringing along 2 Su-35 fighter jets and a bunch of surface-to-air missiles. As soon as Chen Yuan appears, he is sure to die. With a plan in place, the Darknet begins sending messages to Chen Yuan to negotiate. Mr. Chen, if you want to save Jun Hosik, come to New York for negotiations. If not, you'll face the consequences. But the big play from the Darknet is regrettably futile, as when Chen Yuan finishes reading the message, he is not moved at all. Oh, I ever planned to go save him, so why are these guys putting on a show? Beside him, Wang Meng looks at Chen Yuan with a mix of worry and hope. Brother, how should we handle this? Even so, her heart is in turmoil. She recalls the time Chen Yuan plunged into danger to save her, nearly losing his life. This time, if they go to save Jun Hosik, it will surely not be easy. The Darknet is on edge, anxiously waiting. The senior leaders of the Darknet are indeed restless. They have been waiting all day for news from Chen Yuan, but what they receive is a terrifying silence. Everyone feels uneasy inside. If an ordinary person knew that someone they cared about had been kidnapped, they would be worried, panicking to rescue them. Why is this person so cold as ice? Well, has that Huaxia guy responded yet? A subordinate mumbles in reply. Not yet, it has been a day and a night. Upon hearing this, Mr. X angrily slams the table and immediately commands, all right, send him the video of the hostage. Increase the pressure. Let's see how he reacts. The subordinate follows the order and quickly sends the video via WeChat to Chen Yuan. The video captures Jun Hosik tied up, accompanied by some threatening words. If you don't come, you will bear the consequences. After sending it, the entire room waits for a response signal. But less than a minute later, a bright red exclamation mark appears on the screen. The whole room gasps. The subordinate turns pale, stuttering in disbelief. What the hell? We have a big problem now. The atmosphere suddenly froze. Everyone looked bewildered as if they had just received shocking news. Mr. X didn't know what to do other than pound the table repeatedly, shouting, Chen Yuan dares to block our accounts. Doesn't he care about the hostages? Isn't he afraid we'll kill someone? Another person cautiously replied, this guy named Chen Yuan is really difficult to deal with. If we kill the hostages, he will leak the top secret documents. At that point, both the organization and the tycoons behind it will become targets for the world's assassins. How can we possibly withstand that? The Darknet was indeed in a comical yet tragic situation this time. How to handle this Jun Hosik? That burning question lingered in their minds like a chronic toothache. Killing was not an option, keeping them was futile, and letting them go would be like slapping themselves in the face. Chen Yuan truly was a headache for everyone. While the Darknet frantically tried to contact Chen Yuan, he and Meng had just landed. On the flight, they were required to turn off their phones, so he only now opened his device. Upon doing so, he found dozens of messages waiting for him.